I can still feel the sharp bite of rain against my skin on the night she banished me. No suitcase prepared, no hint of what was coming. Just her voice, cold and unyielding, commanding me to abandon the home we'd built together. Her sister stood in the shadowed corner, arms folded, a subtle smirk curling her lips. That moment taught me that love doesn't crumble in a storm of fury. It suffocates, strangled by lies whispered into a receptive ear. Things weren't always like this. When I first crossed paths with Alina, she was a formidable CEO, graceful and seemingly invincible. I was her anchor, the one who grounded her, reminding her that power without peace was empty. She called me her refuge, her foundation, and I believed her. Every late-night coffee on the balcony, every whispered promise after her ruthless corporate wars, I had faith in our bond. Then her sister, Tara, slithered into our world. Younger, sly, and spoiled by years of comparison to her impeccable sibling, Tara loathed me from the start. She mocked my lack of ambition, accusing me of feeding off Alina's success. I laughed it off, but soon Alina's warmth began to fade. I should have noticed sooner. The delayed replies, the chilling distance, the way she started dissecting my every word and move, as if I were hiding some sinister truth. Then came the night of my exile. Her words cut through the air like a blade. Don't come back until you've reflected on your actions. Reflected on what? The lies Tara had fed her. That I was after her fortune. That I was sneaking around with other women. That I was scheming against her. I stepped into the downpour, my heart weighed down by silence. But silence, when sharpened, becomes a weapon. Pain honed my resolve. 3 weeks. That's all it took to dismantle her plot. First I dug deep. Tara was careless, leaving digital traces. Her texts to Alina, with her own responses conveniently deleted, were recoverable. One call to a reliable IT security ally, and the missing pieces fell into my hands. The story shifted. Tara wasn't protecting Alina, she was orchestrating control. Her goal wasn't to save her sister from me but to isolate her, undermine her, and sink her claws deeper into the company. Next, I planned carefully. I contacted a lawyer, who owed me a favor. Together, we drafted divorce papers meticulous and discreet, but armed with safeguards, clauses poised to expose betrayal if needed. Then I waited. Timing is everything in a war. On the 21st day, her call came. Her voice was softer than before. Have you reflected? I almost laughed. Reflected? Oh yes, every deception, every misplaced trust, the way her love collapsed under a serpent's whispers. We agreed to meet at her office. She expected a broken man, begging for mercy. Instead, she faced me, calm, composed, holding an envelope. She sat behind her gleaming desk, her tailored suit immaculate, her eyes colder than ever. Tara hovered nearby, like a vulture circling. So, Alina said, do you understand the damage you've caused? I slid the envelope across the polished surface. I do. That's why I brought this. Her brow furrowed as she opened it. Divorce papers. Her hands trembled. Words escaped her. Tara, however, exploded. What is this? You can't just walk away. Her voice cracked, panic breaking through her mask. She'd expected me to grovel, to confirm my guilt. I locked eyes with her, steady and unyielding. Odd. I thought guilt required proof. Should I show Alina the messages you thought you'd erased? Her face drained of color. Alina's head snapped toward her, confusion twisting into suspicion. What messages? She demanded. I set my phone on the desk and pressed play. Tara's own voice echoed through the room. Recordings, screenshots, texts where she bragged about weaving lies, manipulating trust, plotting to exploit Alina's loyalty for corporate power. The silence that followed was heavy, stifling. Alina's breath hitched. She looked between us, her polished facade cracking as the truth settled in. Tara, tell me this isn't true, she said. But Tara stumbled, her excuses unraveling. I didn't stay. You wanted me gone, Tara. Congratulations. But I don't beg. I don't plead. And I don't remain where trust is dead. I stood, feeling taller than I had in weeks, towering over them both. The fallout was swift. Alina's empire relied on her image, her judgment unerring, her inner circle unshakable. Now she stood exposed, betrayed by her own blood. having cast aside the man who'd stood by her through corporate storms. Within days, whispers spread through the company. A leaked recording here, a stray email there. Rumors circulated that the CEO's sister had schemed to destroy her marriage. Investors grew cautious. Her flawless reputation fractured. I didn't release everything, just enough to tip the balance, to remind her that shattered trust costs more than wealth. One night she appeared at my door. No driver, no sparkling jewelry, just Alina, eyes red and swollen, her voice stripped of its usual command. "I was wrong," she whispered. "I chose her over you. I made a terrible mistake." I looked at her, the woman I'd once called my safe harbor. Her words might have healed me once. Now they were ash. "You taught me something," I said quietly. "Love without trust is just a transaction doomed to fail." Her lips parted, but no words came. She turned and walked away, carrying the weight of her own silence. Do I regret it? Not for a second. 3 weeks was enough to shatter the delusions, to prove my silence was never defeat. It was my deadliest weapon. She told me to reflect, and I did. In that reflection, I saw a man who deserved more than betrayal dressed as love. Now, when I close my eyes, I don't see the rain of that night. I see Tara's confidence collapsing under the truth she couldn't escape. I see Alina realizing the price of trusting the wrong person. And I see myself walking away, not broken, not bitter, but free. Revenge isn't always a firestorm of rage. Sometimes it's a document slid across a desk. Sometimes it's silence turned deadly. And sometimes it's simply letting them sink in the truth they wove.